Hey guys, I'm back. All right. I've been pretty busy. I've been drawing all this whole time, and I know I've been gone for a while. Haven't posted anything, but I've been working, man. I've been drawing. There has been a few changes in my schedule, so that allowed me to have more open time to give back to you guys and draw more, and but it's just a matter of being consistent and constantly coming up with some ideas and stuff like that, which I'm doing. I'm actually in the process of getting my routine together and being able to draw some things fairly quickly. I think I'm gonna start out maybe just doing a sketch. Sketching is probably like the fastest, quickest thing I can do and be able to post it instead of doing like these sped up videos, and after I'm finished sketching it and then going in doing the line work and coloring stuff, that take a long time, man. And this video right here is long. Usually my videos are like, they're sped up in like 5 minutes, but this one's like 30 minutes or whatever. I mean, it took me a couple of months, maybe like a month or so, because I was working on a character design for it's like a RPG game, and I'm not going to disclose like all the names and all that stuff. It's not important, but anyway, the art is important. So basically I was given like 4 planets. The first planet was, let me see, I'm looking at my info here. Let's see, the first planet was, let's see, planet 1. Got my notes. But anyway, there was like a desert planet where I could depict like desert people living out in any kind of like desert-based environment. They can either be underground, above ground. I had full autonomy on being creative and what to do. There was like a sea planet where almost like Star Wars, almost what was it, Camino? But anyway, like a planet just made of water. That was a choice. And then there was another planet that was just like kind of swamp, a swamp based planet, kind of similar to where Yoda lived or something. And let's see, lastly, there was like kind of like a fine city, kind of where the Jedi would live or something, but I had to create like or I had the choice to create characters from something like that. So I chose the desert. So I wanted to do something more, how can we say, more like, because the people were more like warrior types. They were kind of like vampiric, vampire-esque, they lived in this harsh environment. So I wanted to do something kind of similar to that. So my first thought was like, maybe I should draw, since these guys are like barbarian and strong, the women are strong as well, maybe I should do something maybe like a Conan kind of esque, but a little bit more refined, but still muscular and strong. So that was kind of like my basic start out. From there, I kind of went into Pinterest, looked up some cool, kind of like things that would have that similar type of theme. And I, saw some really cool ideas that I, pinned. And so I just kind of used that for inspiration. I started out like with the general kind of Conan-esque kind of look with the scruffy beard and long black hair. I thought about like fangs or something like that. And then as I continued working on it, I refined it a little bit more. I was like, well, maybe that wouldn't be the best fit. So I began like switching to like, okay, what's the attire gonna look like? The attire that I chose is, since it's in a desert type of landscape, it's like, well, don't want to be hot, want to be cool, but then again, the sun can be a scorcher and it can be, burning skin, so they got to have some covering. So I was like, well, maybe like some kind of cloak, maybe like some, the old weapons of the old age, maybe like a sword or an axe or something like that, or something similar to that. I was thinking like maybe some long boots or maybe some sandals, or kind of like a crossbreed of like a sandal / boot of some sort, and then like some arm gear or what have you. And so I was like, well, maybe I should wrap a little mystery around it and give them some kind of like some sort of like satanic kind of mystical look. So I was like, well, okay, let's axe the hair, maybe just do some kind of like carvings or something on the face, and I don't know, I kept on refining it and refining it and refining it and refining it, and I came out with something that I kind of like, but since I still had time to work on it, I was like, well, let me see. Let me keep working on it. Maybe I'll just change it up and do something different. So from there, I went into more of a, I don't know, maybe like half robot, half, human, technology, mixed in with a little decay and, rot or whatever, so, it started looking pretty good. I was starting to like it, but I kept telling myself, maybe I should continue going. Maybe I should just keep pushing it. So I did. And, I kept refining it and, maybe coming up with a possible new outfit as well. I still like the cloak, and I still like, the cape. I still like the kind of armament that he had on, his body or whatever, man, this was a long and tedious process trying to come up with something that, would look good as a character, so I was like, well, maybe like something like a ninja outfit, or maybe something similar to like Dune or something, how they had like those suits that fed water and stuff like that. But I was like, it's already been done before. Well, maybe I can do it a different way. So I add like some armor to it, maybe like a knitting or a netting, that kind of would cover the body, but also had armament attached onto it, so, and I was like, well, maybe I should change the shroud, or change the cape up a little bit, make him like a hunter, so because like this character is supposed to be like unhinged, unwelcoming type character. They favor like this, well, they're supposed to favor like the druids or barbarians or rangers, they're supposed to look like beast folk, or have these kind of characteristics, vampires or evil criminal types or whatever. So as I continued drawing, I kept incorporating those things, and took out some things, kept in other things, try some different poses and whatnot, because like each member, they're supposed to have like a unique deformity or warped, or something about their body or limbs or something can be warped or changed or whatever, So these are kind of like some of the feedback or the notes that, I was kind of given, and, it was up to me to kind of like just come up with, just some ideas. So this is what I did. I tried different poses. Like I really like the kneeling kind of pose, like he was like hunting, but it kind of gave me some, I guess, kind of like that, more of like, someone that used arrows, or hunter, maybe like, I don't know, the arrow or something like that, because I had the hood and all that. And I was like, didn't really like that. It looked cool for the moment, but I was thinking, maybe I should push it farther. Maybe I should make them aliens. Maybe I should make them blind or something, and have like some kind of hard, like skin, like a reptile should have. Maybe I should change it like that. So I kept pushing it, and I pushed it towards maybe an alien kind of look. The face, there was no eyes. It was more like he had these very sensitive ears that act as eyes, where he can hear and sense different things, almost like a daredevil or some sort. So, from Marvel Comics, of course. So I changed it again. I kept pushing it, So I started working on that. So I kind of scrapped, what I had, and just continued on, I was like, well, let me draw a guy. Let me start out with a guy first, and then let me see what he'll look like. And then once the guy looks good, then maybe I'll try, a girl, perhaps. And the guy turned out pretty good. I got some really cool angles, with like the face. I was really liking like the blind. He was blind. I really like how, the scarring over his face. I really liked the teeth that was, that I had in there, where his mouth would like almost transform, well, not really transform. If he opened his mouth, it would open more than normal, in case he was like, eating some type of big prey or something like that. But the citizens in this world, or on this planet, there would be like a protector, there would be like gladiators, there would be like masters of arms, a tribunal member. These were like different types of people that would live on this planet. There would be a spy, enforcers. They were just a warrior type race. There would be the people that you would call if someone goes missing or was kidnapped, or if there was someone that you would hire, to kill someone. So they had to look menacing. They had to look, as if they were unbeatable, pretty much, stealthy, but also could blend in, so they still had humanistic kind of characteristics. But, if you would look closer, you'd be like, oh, they're not human. The guy has no eyes. So I liked it a lot. I changed up the outfit a little bit more. I included the female figure, because I was thinking, well, maybe they can wear like masks or something like that, to kind of blend in. And then once, the mask was not needed, they would just discard it and, find or kill another person, take their face and use it as their own or whatever. So, but I think this part, turned out pretty cool. I put in, my blacks and my line work, but all of this, of course, was done in Photoshop. I didn't do it in Illustrator. I was trying to be, I was trying to get it out pretty quickly, So, mixing my colors, everything looked good. I liked the metal, and, I was just trying something new, and it turned out great. And then I was given like a little curveball. the client, they mentioned like, hey, we use this female to, in most of our designs, for females, we use this particular girl. So can you incorporate her look into like this desert warrior kind of race? So I was like, okay. So I took the picture, they had a few pictures. So I just kind of like just start making some sketches, but first I wanted to finish up this design, that I had of like the hard, reptilian or blind person, crazy looking alien character. I wanted to kind of finish that up first. So I was like, well, let me get to finishing that first. Let me, start drawing. I wanted to draw like some of the different kind of characters, like the Master of Arms, the Magistrate, the Gladiator, the Protector, the Punisher. I wanted to kind of get those guys kind of just laid out first, and then I would go into, this new female character that they want me to kind of flesh out. So I was like, well, okay, maybe I'll just scratch the whole blindness thing. I'll just use this young lady. I'll just incorporate her into the culture, since it's a battle world. These, I want them to have some scars or, flesh wounds or something, So just put like a scrape across her face to kind of roughen her up. Gave her like some fangs, a mask that she could wear. But originally I was thinking like a face, like some face that she kind of carved off or something like that. I know it's gruesome, sorry. But I was like, well, that would work great. But I was like, well, maybe I'll do like a metal kind of mask or something like that. So I gave her that. But I was, at this point, I was trying like some different stuff. Maybe she's, into the mystical arts or something, but also a warrior. So I was like, yeah, let me try out some different looks. Let me finish up, my other characters that I had, and start roughing out like the landscape and things of that nature. So I kind of roughed out at least about 5-6 characters, just the rough, and even if I didn't finish it, I would just come back and do it later on, and I could, and still use these characters for something else, the poses. I really like the poses, so I can still use it for something else. So, as I continue to work on, this female character, I really started to like it because I was kind of coming up with some, I guess, desert outfits, and I love fashion. So I was like, well, I went to Pinterest, start looking up like, what would people in the desert would wear? So I looked up like Indian culture and, Egypt and, what people wear in Egypt. So I was like, well, they have like the head wraps, they usually have like, cover from head to toe, because of the sun, so I was like, well, let me do that, but kind of add in weapons here and there, yeah. So she had like some big, big hair, so natural hair. So I wanted to incorporate that within the wrap. The wrap didn't cover the whole head and hair. It only covered up kind of like the top, kind of like this top part right up here, and it ended like right in the back or whatever. So this is where, I kind of started going in Illustrator and kind of like fleshing it out a little bit more, adding in my darks and, filling in with all the blacks and stuff like that. So this was fun. I really enjoyed it. So as I continued working, I was like, man, maybe, all I do is create character design. So maybe I should just do character designs and, because I need to stick with one type of style, and, or find my niche, which is, I like movies. I like, well, especially Marvel movies, I like those, and I like, just creating, just different characters, so, well, maybe I'll just combine the two, just find out what's trending in the world and, just create a character design based off of that, so, but hey, I also got to make money. So maybe I'll do some stock art as well, and just sell these bad boys online or whatever, because I'm going to do some sports stuff too, as well as my superhero characters. So, as you're, scrolling through, some kind of image stock photography or whatever site, you might see some of my artwork, you never can tell. So, but yeah, man, I really like this project. It's really cool. Now, there are other planets that I think I'm going to work on as well, like later on. You may see them pop up here on the channel, so just be prepared to see some characters from like a water world, or maybe some high society, or maybe some kind of swamp world or whatever. You may see these characters. I may try to finish up what I'm doing here later on. There's some cool, trendy kind of movies that are popping up, and things happening, the social media space. So yeah. So I liked it, working on the project. I finished all the color. I kind of got really tired, man, because, man, doing all this stuff, it is tiring, especially if you're doing it back to back. I fell asleep a couple of times. I'm pretty sure you saw it in there, sorry, I kind of left the camera running, but, hey, man, that's, the life. When you're, freelancer doing this stuff, man, you're going to fall asleep. You're going to be working hard. You're going to be burning that midnight oil, trying to get things done. And, hey, it happens. But it's all about finding a balance. I find my balance by just working at night, because you can't really do crap during the daytime, because, you got kids, you got the wife, and, everybody needs you to do this and that, then you got to have time to rest as well. So all you artists out there, make sure you get your rest. Find some kind of little time in between to get your work done, of course, but you definitely have to enjoy life a little bit and get your rest and relax and take a break. If you don't have any family, you can just work all day and night if you want to, and just, take a break when need be. But, if you're trying to, be driven and become a millionaire, I don't know if it'll happen in the art world, but, hey, if you make it, let me know. And I'll just hang out with you and learn, from you, and maybe I'll become a millionaire too, because it's rough out here on these streets trying to do this freelance work, man. But thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. And I'm trying to get to 40 subscribers, man. So help me get to my goal, 40. So, all right, guys. Peace out. That's it.